Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to do something controversial. We're going to talk about overrated games. In my opinion, it's my opinion. I'm allowed to have an opinion, so take it easy. So what I did was I went through the top 100 games on BoardGameGeek.com, and I found 10 games that I think there is no reason they should be in the top 100. In my opinion. Again, my opinion, flashing red lights, all that kind of thing. My opinion. And I'm going to do 10. I'm not going to belabor the point. Of all these games, I only own one. So that says something that I'm kind of being true to my word. All right. Number 10. Number 10 is a game that I haven't even played, but I'm just sick of hearing about it, honestly. Actually, no, maybe I have played this. I have played this. I did play this, sorry. I have played all of these. And that is Search for Planet X. Now, this is in the top 100. This is a deduction game where players have an app. You're using an app, and you're trying to figure out where Planet X is by asking questions to this app, and it'll give you information, and you can whittle it down, kind of narrow down which sector Planet X is in. There's other ways to score points, but that's the gist of the game. Now, part of this reason that this is number 10 is just because I'm jaded at the game. And it irritated me, and it made me mad. So for spite, I'm putting this at number 10. It's probably a good game. I'm terrible with deduction. I did terrible at the game. And I just feel like there are other deduction games that, in my opinion, again, my opinion, are better. So this is the least hostile one that I have on this list, just because I can tell it's a decent game, but I was just awful at it. So maybe that's why I put it on the list. Either way, sorry, not sorry. Number 9. All right, so number 9 is a game that I have actually played a decent amount of times. It's an abstract game. This is the abstract game that gets all the love more than any other abstract game, and that is Azul. This is a fine game. You're drafting tiles. Lots of other games have taken that mechanism where there's some little areas out on the board where you're drafting stuff from that area. You take all the things on it. That's where the fun of this game ends. You're collecting tiles, you're putting them on this board. If you take too many, they'll break. That's cool too. But then you get to the scoring. The scoring, in my opinion, is the most convoluted scoring for what is a simple game that I have ever seen in my entire life. I played this 4 or 5 times before I even understood how the scoring worked. And that is not something that should be happening in a simple game like this. It should be, hey, I filled in my row, 6 points. Or, hey, I broke 3 things, I lose a point, which I think is what happens. But it's like, if you fill in this row, you add this to it, you do this. If you do that, you get extra points. It's just, the points are too overwrought. The scoring is weird. The gameplay is just not that great. I've played some other versions of Azul that I actually like better, but they're not in the top 100, so that's why this one's getting ragged on. So, my number 9, overrated game of all time, Azul.
Number 8.
Number 8 is a game that I played one time. And it basically feels like other games, and not that good. This is going to hurt some people, and I'm sorry. Dune Imperium is my number 8. It was fine. It was just fine. It's a deck builder where you're moving around on a board. You know, I have that. Don't Turn Your Back was a deck builder where you use cards and you put those cards out on the board as workers. Been done. This has arbitrary combat that you have to do to get some points. It's a race to 10 points, which is cool. The combat feels tacked on. Don't love it. Some of the spaces are clearly better than others. Some of the cards are clearly better than others. Just not a game that I want to keep coming back to. I like Dune. I've watched the old movie bunches of times, at least 5 or 6. Seen the new one a couple times. The IP is cool. The game just didn't do it for me. And this isn't you like Arnak or Imperium better. No, this is, I've played other worker placement games and other deck building games that I would rather play. I don't need them mixed together, and I don't, I'm not lost in playing the Dune world doesn't do anything for me. So that doesn't suck me in either. It's just a game with workers and cards, and I just didn't love it. So, sorry, but number 8, Dune Imperium. Number 7. Number 7 is actually, should have been my number 6, but you'll see why later. Number 7 is Crokinole. I do not understand the fascination with this game. I don't get it. I've played it. Here's the game. Oh, I missed the hole. Oh, I missed the hole. Oh, I missed the hole. And the board's like $700. Like I don't get it. I do not understand how this game, of all the games that are dexterity flicking, is in the top 100. Flick of Faith is basically Crokinole, but it has game around it. Billion times better than this. What's that one where you're flipping? It's like a flicking right from Pandasaurus. It's like 4 different sectors of stuff, games you're trying to play by flicking. Better than this. I don't understand how this game is in the top 100. It blows my mind. It's stupid. Sorry. But I don't get it. There's only, I think this is in like number 80 or something. There's only 80 games better than this. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Even dexterity games, which I am no fan of. There are some that are way better than this. I named 2 already. Sonara, that's the game from Pandasaurus. This is awful. This is a terrible game. Has no business being in the top 100. I said what I said. Moving on. Number 6. Number 6 is Seven Wonders. It should have been my number 7 if I was thinking cleverly, but I'm not clever. We all know that. This is a drafting game. That's all I have nice to say about this game. Everybody loves this game. It's like their go-to drafting game. I don't necessarily think it's the one you should use as your go-to. I would pick Sushi Go. I would pick Summer Camp. I would pick Planted. Any of those. This game has the fighting military piece where you're fighting your neighbors is convoluted. It's hard to explain. The technologies are hard. The science is hard to explain. Every single person I've played this with that doesn't play a ton of games has had issues understanding what everything does. And if I'm going to play a drafting game, even It's a Wonderful World, way more accessible than this, I'm going to play one of those other ones that I mentioned because they're easier to teach and people actually understand them and have fun playing them. I understand people like this game, but I don't get it. Sushi Go, in my opinion, is a better game than this. Sushi Go Party is a better game than this. Every other drafting game that I've probably played is a better game than this. I don't understand it. Seven Wonders Duel is great, but it's a different game. Seven Wonders itself, move on, play something else, not that good. So, not deserving of the top 100, in my opinion. But that's what I got to say. So that was number 6, Seven Wonders. Number 5. Number 5 is probably a super controversial one because this one's super high in the top 100. And this is Ark Nova. Now, I've played Ark Nova online with some friends probably 10, 11 times. I know how to play it. I like it. Okay? But I have some problems with it. And I think it takes other games that I like more and doesn't do it as well. So Ark Nova 1 is incredibly too long for what it is. This is fun for an hour and a half. Or if you're playing on Boardgame Arena, it's fun when it's your turn and then you can forget about it till it's your next turn again. It's fun for that. If you're playing this game, like most of the posts that I've seen, for 4, 5, 6 hours, I would hate life after this because it's way too long. This game is effectively Terraforming Mars meets Rise of the Ganges meets like any polyomino game that you can think of. I like those games, not really polyominoes, but I like Terraforming Mars, like Rise of the Ganges. I'm just going to play those games as opposed to playing this in real life. On Boardgame Arena, it's fine. In real life, not so much. I don't understand why it has all the hype. Maybe it's the zoo theme. Maybe it's because it was new. That's probably the big thing. It's new. But it's fine. It takes too long. The teach is a pain in the neck. And it's okay. It's an okay game. I actually like the card play. So I'll just play Terraforming Mars because it's the same thing. I don't like the polyomino piece. So I don't want to play that piece. It's convoluted and weird. So there's too many cards, all that stuff. Just not a fan. Don't understand why people love it so much, but people do. So it is what it is, I guess. But my number 5, Ark Nova. Number 4. Number 4 is from Flat Out Games. And this is probably going to hurt some feelings too. And I apologize. But it's Cascadia. There's no game here. I like the game. It's fine. I played it twice, but I never feel the need to go back to that game again. You're drafting tiles. You're drafting a token. You're putting tiles on your board. You're putting tokens on those tiles. That's the game. You're trying to form some huge patterns of huge groups of terrain and get different animals and different patterns that score points. That's it. I appreciate the simplicity. I played it with people who don't play a ton of games. They like it. But for me, it's just, there's no game there. I could play multiple other games that have a similar theme, similar vibe. Even Zularetto, in my opinion, similar kind of vibe. And I get way more out of it. Ecos, way more out of it. This is just not a game. It's pretty, I guess. The tokens are fine, but it's okay. I don't understand how it's in the top 100. I have no idea. Don't get it. There are better games with this theme, better games that do similar things like this. This one, not getting it. So my number 4, Cascadia. Number 3. All right, number 3 is the one game that I do own. And I like it. And that's Scythe. Scythe is a fine game. I have the same issue with Scythe as I do with Arc Nova. It's too long. It's entirely too long. If you're playing and you have to play it with more than 2 players, or there's nothing going on. It's fine. It's a worker placement game with a fear of fighting. You're moving resources around. You're using those resources to buy things, upgrade, all that kind of thing. There are other games that do this. Expeditions from Stonemaier gives me the same feel without the stupid fake fighting that you have to worry about. It's fine. I don't understand why this is the game of Stonemaier that gets all the love. Euphoria, in my opinion, is a better game. Wingspan is a better game. My Little Scythe is a better game because it does the same thing here in 30 minutes. I like this game for 30 minutes. 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't like this game anymore. There's too many rules. Every time you get it out, the rules teach is a pain in the neck. There's some rules ambiguity in the book. I've played this with multiple people. It's always been a slog getting through the rules. And then I'm constantly looking up things, and I hate that. I understand it's a good game. I like it. But it's not top 100 worthy. Sorry. Y'all are wrong. So that's all I got to say about that. So number 3, Scythe. Number 2. Number 2 is actually one that I've written about in a blog, and I blasted this because it was the winner of like every Dice Tower award this year. And that is Heat, Pedal to the Metal or something like that. I played this game once, and this is basically not a game. I was expecting it. I've heard all these things. Oh, there's so much push your luck. There's so much fun, thinky decisions that you're making by playing these cards. No, you're playing cards. I need to move 5. I'm playing cards to move 5. Oh, I got to slow around the corner. I can't play more than 3. Okay, I'll slow down around the corner and play less than 3. Occasionally, I may push my luck and take some heat cards. And there's like no penalty for taking that, really, if you're managing it correctly, if you pay even the slightest bit of attention. And it's basically just a race. The push your luck feels non-existent. The one time I played this game, the only part that was super exciting, I enjoyed my playthrough because I was having fun playing a game with the people. Now, that's the caveat on all of these. Like, I'm having fun playing a game with people. But the only part of this that was exciting was the very last turn when we were all fighting to go across the finish line, and I made it across first, but someone beat me by 1 space. Like, that was exciting. That was fun. That's the part of the game I remember. Otherwise, I don't know, there's some cards that have numbers, there's some zeros, and it's basically a roll and move game with cards. That's how I felt about it. So, I don't understand. The same design team did Deep Blue. Much better game. Still Days of Wonder, much better game. There's push your luck in that. You're drawing stuff out. There's cool card play. There's exploration. Tons of stuff. This is play a card, move your card. That's it. I do not understand the love. Maybe because it's not out or it's just now readily available. I don't understand, but we got to stop with this game because this is not a good game. And that's all I'm going to say about Heat because I don't want to hear about it in the comments. Number 1. All right, so number 1 is actually a Martin Wallace game. And this one pains me a little bit because I wanted to like this game. We played it with some of our friends in Indiana, and I didn't really love it, and I think it's ready to do highly. And that is Brass Birmingham. Now, I'm a huge fan of regular Brass, or Brass Lancashire as the reprint is. But this one adds this beer mechanism that's supposed to make the game better, but it feels like it limits it even more. There's some buildings that you need to use beer to sell and trade and all that stuff to score points. The beer's limited. It's hard to get beer on that board. There's 2 other kinds of tiles that you can build in this one. I never built any of them. It takes away one of the actions you can do and flips it around and makes it harder to do. I don't know. everybody said it's streamlined. This one feels way more convoluted to me than Brass Birmingham or Brass Lancashire, and I will play Brass any day over this mess. I understand it's the same concept of the game. It has the same actions. If you played Lancashire, you'll pick up Birmingham, no problem, and play it. You maybe need 5 minutes of like a few rules things, but yeah, I am not a fan. If I never play this game again, it's okay, because it did not add anything. It did not improve upon Lancashire. It took away some of the stuff I liked. It added some convoluted like action. It's a wild card thing where you can burn 2 cards and take a card that can do anything. That's dumb. I don't understand it. So if you like this game, more power to you. But I would also suggest just playing Lancashire, really understanding that one, and you'll understand that that's the way this game was meant to be. The way Marty himself made the game. Lancashire is far superior to this and should be rated more highly. It's pretty high, I think, as it is. It's in the top 10, I believe, but it needs to be higher than Birmingham. It's just got to be. So that's all I need to say about that. Don't play Birmingham, play Lancashire. All right, that's my top 10 overrated. Sorry, I probably made some people mad. Again, this is all tongue-in-cheek. I'm just having a good time. It's the internet. We're having fun. Talking about games that we have issues with. We're fans. We like what we like. We don't like what we don't like. And that's what it is. All of you probably like all 10 of these games. That's awesome. Have fun playing these games. I'll play other games. I'll play these old and busted games I have on my shelf that you probably don't like. To each their own. But I just wanted to have some fun. Maybe get a little silly and just be a little controversial, because the internet loves controversy, right? Yes, it does. So, if you like it, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, realize it's a joke. We're just playing around and having a good time. So, top 10 overrated. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.